China has been for some years now giving us a lot of unnecessary provocations and trouble. It's very much in India's interest to settle the lines as quickly as possible and as firmly as possible. If Mr. Doval goes and makes a breakthrough, we'll all be grateful. 25 rounds have already taken place and we have seen no progress at all. The Chinese have consistently taken the view that this is an issue for future generations to settle. Well, I'm afraid for a public representative, Onam means rushing from event to event. So already this started a couple of days ago, and I've been inaugurating various kinds of Onam functions, which are not only just celebrations. There's been Onam kits distribution in parts of my constituency. There have been scholarships or prizes for achieving students. There have been occasions where we also give assistance to elderly people. On top of that, we are in a situation now where right now a number of our organizations are having Onam events where their workers gather together. So I've addressed them. I've addressed the HLL unions. I've addressed INTUC. I've done 3 or 4 different functions of different groups. I'm off right now for 2 more in the morning. In between, I have a meeting with the Chief Minister. I have also got various unrelated functions and no end of being asked to make an appearance at Onam celebrations. And today I'm hosting a small sadhya for my team and families and so on, because that's also part of it. When Onam, everyone eats, and that's the sadhya is very important. So all I can say is that it's a busy Onam, it always is. And I have to say a good part of the time is spent on battling Trivandrum traffic at the peak of Onam.
Sir, as a politician, I still want to ask a political question. So Congress is saying that there's a delay in propagation of monsoon season. There's a gap, there's an unusual and abnormal gap between the delay in procuring the...
Correct. Jairam Ramesh has issued a detailed explanation. The prorogation of the Parliament is normally not delayed very much after the sine die adjournment. In principle, a sine die adjournment means that they can reconvene the Parliament for that particular session. Whereas if you do a prorogation, then that's the end of that session, the next one will be the next session. Now, the BJP has taken unusually long this time, and the concern is that they are trying to find some way of getting certain parties that have voted against their delimitation constitutional amendment last time in April to come and support them now in August or September. This is not entirely surprising because the media is full of rumors of such conversations taking place. We don't think it's particularly ethical or politically logical, but we will see. At the end of the day, we remain opposed to this delimitation on every ground possible. It is not going to be just to the country, and frankly, a parliament of that size is not going to be fair to parliamentary democracy either. 850 people means meaningless. It is no longer a discussion forum, the temple of our democracy, the deliberative body it's supposed to be. So for all of these reasons, we are not going to change our stand, but they believe there are some parties that can be persuaded, cajoled or cudgeled, as the saying goes. We'll see what happens.
Sir, at the same time, ahead of the Chinese president visit to India on the BRICS summit, NSC Ajit Doval to hold India-China boundary talks with Wang.
Well, there is no doubt that the India-China boundary is of colossal importance to us. As you know, China has been for some years now giving us a lot of unnecessary provocations and trouble along that undemarcated border. And it's very much in India's interest to settle the lines as quickly as possible and as firmly as possible. So this constant needling, this constant irritation, this constant misuse of the lack of demarcation to put India off balance, all of this can be completely prevented. And for that, I think if Mr. Doval goes and makes a breakthrough, we'll all be grateful. But 25 rounds have already taken place and we have seen no progress at all. The Chinese have consistently taken the view that this is an issue for future generations to settle. And what that seems to mean in the Chinese eyes is that they will gradually change the realities along the border until it suits them enough, and then some distant date in the future they will settle. That's not good enough for us because we don't want to constantly have the Chinese needling us on this issue. If they want a good, strong, warm relationship, which sometimes they claim they do and sometimes they don't. But if they want it, they also need to show a little flexibility on settling this matter. And that, I think, is the good reason for our National Security Advisor to go and have talks with them. But this is not a bilateral visit. As you know, it's a visit for BRICS. And therefore, I'm not personally expecting any major bilateral breakthroughs on this occasion.